What's going on, Generation Crypto? Thank you for tuning into this technical analysis video. I'm going to be covering Bitcoin. Today is March 12th. We're at a lot of market indecision. We don't know if we're going up. We don't know if we're coming down. And I wanted to highlight my perspective, I guess shed some perspective on what I'm doing, how I'm preparing to tackle the next hours, the next few days, and what I'm expecting to happen here. We are at a pivot point, right? We're currently testing the downtrend on a 12-hour chart, and this is a linear chart, a non-logarithmic one. If I was to turn on my log scale, this would not make any sense. The reason I'm not on a log scale, even though typically I stick to a log scale, I was listening to some experts today, particularly hyperwave traders, that assess these bubbles, or they believe it's a bubble, and they analyze hyperwaves and bubbles on a linear scale, not a logarithmic one. So that's why I'm off the log scale, and we're seeing something really interesting here. So I've got my downtrend highlighted, which is going to be the previous resistances, all-time high, the bull trap, the last rally where it ended, and then we're at this point today where we are retesting this downtrend, and it's really nice to see us not fall straight through it but get rejected off this downtrend. So that tells me that we are stronger than we were over here, and at this point that there's a little bit more bullish sentiment in the market than I even want to admit. The fact that we're just waking off this support, or if this resistance line is turning into support, and that's good to see. But what I really wanted to highlight here is not only did we have like a double bottom formation a few days ago, we also had a double bottom on a bullish RSI divergence, right? We see a lower low on the chart as far as candle wax goes, and we see a higher low on stochastic, and that was followed by a small rally. We made over BTC made over $1,000 yesterday, and then it kind of entered this other sell-off. So we had this bullish divergence, we had a couple of layered bull flags, and then we had a sell-off. I'm not sure if it's a shakeout or a stop run or BTC's dead, DED, but this is where I'm pulling out my textbook, and I believe we are seeing what's called a failure swing. Again, find my page. Failure swing is a specific type of breakout from an overbought or oversold zone. A stronger version of the breakout is often the first sign of a potential reversal after a lengthy trend in which an oscillator has remained within or close to a zone. Now, this might be our failure swing, and this might be getting us set up into the next reversal, and that would be really nice. Now, a reversal of which zone? I mean, we had not quite gone into the overbought extreme, but we had been in an extended downtrend. And typically there's two types of failure swings. There's a positive and a negative, and a negative failure swing is going to happen with the oscillator up here. So this would have been like a negative failure swing, and we broke down. This might just be the opposite of that. This might just be a positive failure swing where we break into the positive. But this area right here is what's making me skeptical of whether this is a failure swing or not, right? Because our oscillator had been here for an extended period of time, but then we try to make these gains, and now we're back onto this divergence. And yeah, so this is why I'm still sitting on the sidelines, right? This is why I don't have a clear buy signal or a sell signal or a confirmation. That's why I'm really digging deep in my textbooks, trying to figure out what I'm missing, because we're not seeing your typical formations. We're not seeing like a inverse head and shoulders like we had seen up in this range. We're not seeing a falling wedge. We're not seeing a reversal setup that is a known one. So I'm kind of going off the charts and into the books and then back onto the charts, trying to figure it out. So I'd like to get to know your perspective on things. Where do you think BTC's headed? Do you think this is a failure swing? Do you think we're gonna get a retracement back to our linear support zone, which is gonna be around 6,800 this time around, or are we gonna break back upwards? There's a lot of talks that, oh, this is mirroring Mount Gox 2014 bear market. It looks just the same. I mean, it kind of looks like it, but fundamentally, there's a lot of differences. The volume profile is completely different than we were in the Mount Gox days. And then not only that, but there's not been so many catalysts in the market, and we have so many more market participants. Um, so there's quite a bit of differences and similarities. So I'd like to get to know your perspective on things. Go ahead and drop me a comment. Let us know what you think is going to happen. As for BTC, these are my thoughts right now. I'm not ready to pull the trigger on a long. I'm not ready to pull the trigger on a short up until I get further confirmation.